at two things that may happen to a woman if she either intentionally remove pregnancy or unintentionally remove pregnancy. A lot of couples are going through infertility issue just because of this, and a good number of them may not even know that this might be the reason they have not been able to achieve pregnancy. First, some women, especially married women, because when I talk about this topic, some people think I am referring to the single ladies, but the truth is that the married women are even more vulnerable here because they are living with a man, and most times you may do something, you may have intercourse with your husband, and it results in you getting pregnant, and you don't want that pregnancy. The next thing is you look for something to do. So here are two things that may happen to a woman after she have gone through this process. This process, I mean, removing pregnancy, either by taking pills or by doing D&C. Some people think that if by taking pills, that means I did not do anything. Who says so? Even if you did it by taking pills, you still did something. You did it by D&C, you actually did something. So here is what you need to know about it. If you have gone through this process before and you have been trying to conceive for about, let's say, 12 months, that is 1 year, and pregnancy is not showing, this simply means that your hormones might have gone out of balance. You see, that pills that you took may have disrupted your hormones, thereby leading you to having hormonal imbalance. And when your hormones are out of balance, getting pregnant may not really be easy. It may not be easy for you to achieve pregnancy if your hormones are out of balance. There are a lot of reproductive hormones that may go out of balance. See, I know of a woman whose prolactin level went very high after taking pills in order to remove pregnancy. So her prolactin hormone went high, and she has been trying for 3 years. Nothing has been happening until she went to hospital, and it was confirmed that her prolactin hormone was high. So she started to figure out what may have caused it or what may have led to it, only for her to realize that it was the pills that she was taking after getting pregnant. Okay, now another thing is that if you have gone through this process, maybe if you have removed the pregnancy through D&C, okay, this one now, there are also 2 or 3 things that are involved. If you have done this and you have been trying to conceive, pregnancy is not coming. First, it could be that you contracted infection during the process. You may ask, how did I contract infection during the process? Yes, you know that those equipment they used to do you that thing, you were not the only person that the equipment was used on. So if those equipments are not properly sterilized, trust me, you are going to contract infection, and when you contract infection, it will stop you from getting pregnant. So a lot of people have contracted infection through this process, especially when you do it in an unsafe environment. When you do D&C in an unsafe environment, you are prone to contracting infection. And when you contract infection, it will definitely affect your taking in. Another thing is that maybe after the process, let's say you have uterine problems, that is your uterus, which is your womb, have problem. What can make your womb to have problem is that maybe at the end of the process, it was not properly done. Maybe it was done by a quack. It was not properly done. There were still some particles that were left after the process or during the process. So if those particles still remain in your body, it might lead in your uterus being blocked. And trust me, if your uterus is blocked, there is no way you will get pregnant, because it is through the fallopian tube that your husband SPM will penetrate into your body. And if this fallopian tube is blocked, you are not going to get pregnant because it's not going to penetrate. And even if it eventually penetrates, there will be no implantation. What do I mean by implantation? If you are joining us, thank you for joining us. Please try to like and comment so that others will join us, okay? So, what do I mean by implantation? Implantation is the lining of the uterus, like lining of the baby. The fetus, that is your baby. When fertilization occur, the next thing is that the baby is going to implant itself in your uterus so that it will start developing in that your uterus. Your uterus is the same thing as your womb. So in case I'm using uterus, you know that I'm referring to your womb. When implantation have taken place, your baby is going to implant itself in your womb. And if you have gone through D&C in a wrong hand, in a wrong way, the baby may not be able to implant itself successfully in your uterus because that place will not be convenient and comfortable for the baby. Thereby, the next thing you will see is you will have miscarriage. This is why a lot of people will say that after conceiving, they now have miscarriage. It could be, yes, you may even test positive, that is true. And this leads us to chemical pregnancy. Chemical pregnancy is a situation where a woman takes in, like you have already taken in, you even go to test, and test confirm that you are positive, you are pregnant, but after some weeks you are not feeling that symptoms of pregnancy again, you are not feeling pregnancy again, you go back to run test and test is giving you negative result. Sometimes you think that your village people have come. The truth is that nobody, it could be that nobody was after you, it could be the mistake you have done before. Maybe that pill that you took after the do that you did with your husband the other time, that time you did not want pregnancy, you went to take pill, and for your mind, yes, now I did not get pregnant again, to God be the glory. You don't know that that pill might have caused something in your uterine, thereby making implantation to be impossible. It could also be the one that maybe the D&C that you did, and you did not know that that D&C was not properly done. At the end of the day, it will cause blockage in your fallopian tube, and after you have conceived, you notice that you tested positive, now you are testing negative again. It is called chemical pregnancy. Another thing that may lead to chemical pregnancy may be maybe your husband SPM is not okay, like it does not have good quality. It may also be that your own egg is not quality enough to carry the baby. But I'm not talking of chemical pregnancy now. What I'm talking about is effect of having, I don't want to mention it full, effect of removing pregnancy, either intentionally or unintentionally. It has a lot of effect. Then apart from that, removing pregnancy can also cause, it might also delay your period. If you have done it in a wrong way, you may notice that your period may not be flowing monthly the way it used to flow. Maybe you will have your period this month, next month you will not have your period. That is called irregular period. Okay, so you will see that your period will travel to a journey of no return. You will start looking for your period, you will not see it. Am I actually saying that you cannot have a successful D&C? The answer is no. Am I saying that you must experience this thing if you have taken pills to remove pregnancy? The answer is still no. All I'm saying is that before you take any of this process, ensure that you are doing it with the right person so that you'll be safe. A lot of women that are going through infertility is as a result of this mistake and they may not know. So if you want to do D&C, ensure that you do it with the right person. That instrument they are using for the D&C, ensure that it's properly sterilized. If it's not sterilized, you are going to remove something that you don't want. At the end of the day, you are getting something that your body will not tolerate forever. Infection, see, if you have infection anywhere in your reproductive tract, in your reproductive system, you are going to find it difficult to conceive, because it's not only going to obstruct your hormones, it's also going to make it almost impossible for you to conceive. See, infection you contract from D&C equipment can also make you to have hormonal imbalance. And when your hormones are out of balance, trust me, you may be finding it difficult to conceive. I know a lot of women in my DM that are facing this issue. That is why I have chosen to address it. It is common among women that are married. They are more vulnerable. So it's not just about the single ladies. Women that are living with men are more vulnerable, because since you are living with men, you are likely to have intercourse. And most times you have this intercourse and pregnancy will occur, and you don't want the pregnancy. You will decide to go and take pill, and after taking the pill, you will notice that something has gone wrong. And another thing you should know is that you might not even notice that something has gone wrong. You may not even know. You will be living your free life, like you will be living a free life. You will not know. The only time some people know is now, the time they want to get pregnant. You are now looking for a child and nothing is happening, and you will be asking yourself, what is really going on? What is happening? I am menstruating, I am ovulating, how come I'm not getting pregnant? Some will even be accusing their husband. Are you sure you are not the one? My sister, your husband might not be the one. It could be that that thing that you did that time is now resulting to a big problem. And if you are a single lady watching me right now, let me tell you the truth. If you have gone through this process before and you later got married, hi Adayomi, hi, welcome, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to like. Hi, thank you for joining us. So if you are a single lady and you used to take pill anytime you conceive because you don't want the pregnancy, or you have done D&C, please, as soon as you get married, I am advising you to go and do this test, histotherapy test. When you do this test, they are going to examine you through this test to know whether there was a scar tissue during the process, to know whether maybe when they did you that D&C, you have any fallopian tube issue, to know whether there was any blockage in your womb, to know whether you have any hormonal imbalance as a result of the pills you were taking when you were still young, to know whether your hormones have been disrupted during the process or because of the pills you are taking. Do not keep silent. The problem we are having as ladies, as women, is that sometimes we look at it as, okay, what if I say this now? Hey, Choko, drop that in. What if I say this now? What are people going to say? This person will now know that I am having this issue. Now, let me tell you what to do. If you have experienced this or you are experiencing this right now, the right thing to do is to go to a very far hospital. Do not go where you are known, so that you'll be free to tell them exactly what is wrong with you. Because if you go where you are known, you might not be able to be free to say exactly what you want to say the way you are supposed to say it. So I will advise you just go to a place where nobody knows you, very far from where you are living. Then you tell them what is going on, and trust me, with proper medication, with healthcare providers' attention, you're still going to have your healthy babies. You're still going to have your healthy babies. But if you keep it to yourself, if you keep quiet, you're not going to have anything, and you will end up regretting it. That is just the truth. You will end up regretting it. I wish you good luck. If you have any question, feel free to ask. That is just the thing. So it's not really easy. It's not easy. Infertility is one thing that causes problems in marriage, and you may not really understand it if you have not been in that shoe, or if you have not met people that have been on that shoe. as a health educator, I know how many people that their marriage is at the verge of crumbling because of infertility. And this is why I have been giving you tips on this platform, how you can scrub infertility. Now, one of these, the reason of infertility is what I have just mentioned. If you are used to taking pills anytime you get pregnant, in fact, even if you are not pregnant, maybe you have an intercourse, that even reminds me, you see this postnatal that we women are taking. The truth is that if postnatal have not sent your period to a journey of no return, you will not understand it. And if you are not trying to conceive, you may not even understand that postnatal has been doing you a lot of harm. You may not understand until the time you start looking for a child. Postnatal is not meant to be taken more than once in your menstrual cycle. What do I mean? Like this month now, you have something to do with your husband, you take me postnatal today, and maybe tomorrow again you do something with him. Yeah, as I was saying before my children interrupted, you see postnatal. Postnatal have done a lot of women, like postnatal have done women shege. Yes, it have done women shege, and it have also saved a lot of people. If you are not using it the right way, you will regret using it. That is the truth. If you are not using it the right way. You are welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are talking about the effect of taking contraceptives, or the effect of doing D&C, or taking any pills to remove pregnancy. Okay, so I was saying that if you have gone through this process before, the best thing for you to do is to submit yourself to the hospital so that they will conduct tests to know if it actually caused any problem in your reproductive system, because there is nothing like symptom you may not know. For instance, if you have blockage of womb, you may not know if you are not trying to conceive. Like if you are not expecting pregnancy, you may not really know, but you will get to know the time you start looking for a baby. Like you have tried today, nothing happened. You tried tomorrow, nothing happened. You tried 1 year, nothing happened. That is when your brain might reset. You start asking yourself what is going on. Then, but the truth is that your mind might not even tell you that it was that D&C or that pills that you actually took some time ago in order to remove a particular pregnancy that is causing you that problem. That is the truth. So I advise you, if you have done this before, kindly submit yourself to the hospital. Do not hold it back to yourself. Do not say I don't know what people are going to say. People will be looking at me like someone who is loser or someone. No, 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 no. This is your health we are talking about here, and you have to do as if you are not hearing anything. Block your ears. If you actually want to achieve success in your fertility journey, then you need to block your ears. Do as if you are not actually hearing what anybody is saying. It's going to help you a lot. Okay, so I will be here to entertain your question in case you have any question to ask. If I leave that thing, share back, bro. So I'll be entertaining your question. In case you have any question, feel free to ask your question. I am in the comments. I am seeing your comments. Feel free to ask your questions. At the end of 9 months, at the end of 9 months, at the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. You must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, sister, you must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your babies. End of 9 months, nothing will stop you. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. You must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months. At the end of 9 months. At the end of 9 months, sister, you must carry your baby. You must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. At the end of 9 months, you must carry your baby. There is nothing God cannot do. Yes. There is nothing God cannot do. God is not a man, so he cannot fail. You must carry your baby. You must carry your baby at the end of 9 months. You must carry your baby at the end of 9 months. You must carry your baby at the end of 9 months. You must carry your baby. Bye.